Exercise 2.3, question 1. Divide the polynomial p of x, so we have p of x in all of these parts as you see, by the polynomial g of x. So here p of x is your dividend, this is what you're dividing, by g of x, which is your divisor. Okay, so we are given the dividend and the divisor in each of these parts. You have to divide it, and through that division you need to find the quotient and the remainder in each of these. Now you need to understand how to divide these. You know how to divide numbers. That's super simple. Say I'm dividing 35 by 2. Then what do I have? This is 2 ones are 2, 1, 5, 2 sevens are 14, and 1, and there you stop. In this case, the dividend for us is 35, the divisor is 2, the quotient is 17, and the remainder is 1. So we're very comfortable with doing this when it's numbers. But what about division when it is polynomials like this? So we have exact steps for this given in our NCERT book. Now this is a page from the book where, as you see, we've been given the entire division process in steps. So let's start that with part 1. That'll be the one where we'll take the longest to understand this, and then parts 2 and 3 will be a breeze. Let's get started with part 1. Alright then, here you go. So first of all, let me just write this how we write any division problem. Okay then, so I've put everything in place. I've written the divisor outside here and the dividend inside here. Now make sure when you write them, you always write them in decreasing order of powers. Now here it's already that, power 3, 2, 1 and then nothing. But in some questions it might not be in order. So make sure you do that first. Now that we're set, let's read step 1. To obtain the first term of the quotient, divide the highest degree term of the dividend. Which is the highest degree term of the dividend? It's x cubed. Divide this by the highest degree term of the divisor. So yet again, highest degree from here will be divided by highest degree from the divisor, like this. So the first step is to just divide x cubed by x squared. What do you get? Well, when you divide x to the power 3 by x to the power 2, you get x, right? So that becomes the first term of your quotient. Then what you do is you carry out the division process. What that means is you just continue with this one term and you multiply this with the other terms of the divisor as well. Think carefully. What really happens is that when you multiply this x with x squared, that is how you get the x cubed. But you will also have to multiply it with the remaining terms of the divisor. So when you multiply x with minus 2, that is going to come down here. So overall, when you're multiplying this entire divisor by x, what you're getting is x to the power 3. That is how we decided to have the x, so that we get x to the power 3, and the other one is going to be minus 2x. So I'll put the 2x under the x term, not under the x squared term. Next, what you do is change the signs of this that you have in the second line, and then you'll see what all gets cancelled out. So x to the power 3 and minus x to the power 3 just vanish, and then 5x and 2x together will become how much? That will become 7x, and the rest of the terms under which you had nothing will just come down as it is. So minus 3x squared plus 7x minus 3. This now is the first step of your division complete. Let me erase these arrows now. Perfect. Step 1 done. Let's read step 2. Now obtain the second term of the quotient. Right now we just have the first term of the quotient. How do you obtain the second one? Divide the highest degree term of the new dividend. This is the new dividend that you have, and the highest degree term is this here. And you divide this by the highest degree term of the divisor. So that is still the highest. That means that is still your x squared. So what happens when you divide minus 3x squared by x squared? Well, you get minus 3. This is what is the second term of your quotient. But then, just how we continued in the last one, you have to actually multiply both of the terms of the dividend, or howsoever many you might have, with this term in the quotient. So what you will have, the first one of course is designed so that you have minus 3x square only. The next one will be minus 3 times minus 2, which is a plus 6. So I'm putting it this way. Now again, I will change the signs and see how I can solve this. So this one gets cancelled out. 7x will come down as it is. And on this side, you have minus 3 minus 6. That is minus 9. Now, step 2 is also complete. So you keep going this way. You keep going till when? Read here. We stop the division process when either the remainder becomes 0, well, it hasn't become 0 yet, or its degree is less than the degree of the divisor. Well, that has definitely happened because the degree of this here is 1, while the degree of your divisor was 2. So this is where you stop. So overall, the quotient that you were looking for is here. It's q of x, and this is the remainder, r of x. And we're done here with part 1. Now, although this method is something you learned in class 9, we still went over all of this so that you recap it well. Now, from the parts that are coming forward, parts 2 and 3, I would like you to try first and then see the division. Okay, so here's part 2. Try this before you see my solution. Alright, I hope you tried. So first step is where you divide the highest power term in the dividend by that in the divisor. So when you divide x to the power 4 by x to the power 2, then what we get is x to the power 2. So that becomes the first term in our quotient. Now you know you have to multiply this with every term in the divisor. Just observe that I've rearranged the terms in my divisor so that it's highest power to the lowest power. Now what I get as a result is this first term, of course, is x to the power 4. That's by design. When x squared is multiplied with minus x, I will get minus x cubed. Okay, so I didn't have an x cube portion earlier, so I'll just put it somewhere in the middle. And then when you multiply it with 1, it's x squared. Now again, you have to change the signs and subtract. Let's see. So this one becomes minus, this becomes plus, and this becomes minus. So this first set just gets cancelled out. Here you have x to the power 3. This is minus 3 minus 1 x squared. So that's minus 4x squared. And the rest of them come down as it is. So here we're done with the first step. Now let's clear up these connectors. You will work for the second term now. This time again you have to divide the highest power term in the new dividend by the highest power term in your divisor. So you're basically dividing x cubed by x squared, which is just x. So that's your next term. Then again, you know you have to multiply this with every term of the divisor, each of these 3 terms. Okay, just a little untidy, but you know what I'm doing. So here, what is the product you're going to get? Let's see. The first term by design has to be x cubed. Second is minus x squared. And third is x times 1, which is x. So again, you will subtract. That means you will change the signs like this. And now these two will get cancelled out like this. And for these two, minus 4x squared plus 1x squared, it's minus 3x squared. Then this is minus 5x plus 5. Okay, we're still not done because even now the powers are just equal. It has to be less than the divisor. So in the next step, divide this one, the highest power term, by again the highest power term in the divisor. So minus 3x squared divided by x squared is minus 3. This is what you get. And since you have to multiply it with all the terms, let me do that. So it's plus 3x and then finally minus 3. Final step now, changing the signs, cancelling out what you can. This goes and you're just left with minus 8x plus 8. Now the degree of this is less than the degree of your divisor. So this is the remainder that you were looking for. And this on top is the final quotient that you were looking for. And we're done with part 2. Here's the last part now. Try it before you see mine. All right then, here's part 3 for you. Just observe how I've written my dividend with extra terms with a cube and a square because they were not there already, and I saw in part 2 that it sometimes does happen that you get something that wasn't already there, a power that wasn't already there in your dividend. So just to be safe, so that I have a placeholder for every power. Also, I've rearranged my divisor like this so that the highest power comes first and then it keeps decreasing. Alright, step 1, divide this by this. I will have minus x squared. This one is going to be faster because we've already discussed two parts. When you multiply this, first term has to be this. Second will be minus 2x squared. I will change my signs because we need to subtract this. This gets cancelled out and these two give me 2x squared. Now this one I don't need because this is anyway 0 and you don't care about the highest powers. The rest of them will come down as it is. Alright, yet again, highest power term from here with the same term here. So 2x squared divided by minus x squared is just minus 2. Multiplying this with every term of your divisor, you will have this. And then let's change our signs, minus, plus, and this one in the middle does not get affected. This gets cancelled out. What you're left with is minus 5x plus 10. Now at this stage we will have to stop because the degree is now smaller than that of the divisor. So this is your remainder and this is the quotient that you were looking for. And we are done with this question.